So my entire journey really started at the beginning of 2022, and that's when I made the decision to go all in and just lock the puck in. Like 2022, the start of that year, I was just like, I didn't care about meaning, purpose, like none of that. I just wanted to make as much money as possible. And if you're currently, just starting out, looking to sign your first client, or, just looking to make some money online, like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. You don't need like this grandiose purpose to start off with. Like if you just want to make as much money as possible, that's totally fine. Whatever is currently driving you, use that, right? Like that is the literal definition of entrepreneurship, is use what you've got. So if you currently have like all this pain and this desire to make money, use that. Okay. If it's is to travel or to buy this Lamborghini, like use that. Okay. Use what you've got. But anyway, the funny thing is when I made that decision, and it really all starts with a decision, right? Like people think that they become successful when the materialistic desires finally, appear in front of them, or the money starts coming in. That's when I think, oh, I'm finally successful. But once you start taking action, and really once you just make that decision and it all flips, that's when you're already a success, because belief comes before ability. And this is a quote from David Senra. He's got the Founders Podcast, and he's read over 400 biographies of the greatest of the greats in all their fields, right? And one pattern he realizes is that belief comes before ability. So people have this complete opposite view, and even Alex Hormozi has the same thing. I know where he's coming from, but he thinks that this confidence that you get comes after you've actually achieved whatever thing, like this whole outwork yourself out. But you don't have evidence to start off with. Like where's your confidence going to come from? Because people are only going to buy from you if you have confidence and conviction in yourself, your product, your offer, whatever the case may be. But if you don't have any evidence, where does that conviction come from to even get that first client? And the thing is, belief comes before ability. So that actual confidence comes before you've actually signed your client. So meaning you are already successful before you start making money. You're not a success because you have money. You have money because you're success. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Like the actual identity and the belief and all this comes before. So I already knew I was successful before I even had made any money. Like I was just like, I'm already successful. Time just has to catch up. Okay, I've already achieved all my goals. Time just has to catch up. And it's funny, once you make this decision, like this resolute decision, like boom, just like that, the universe kind of bends to your will. It's insane. Like I saw all these, these signs, whatever you want to call it, like the 555 and like the 111 and like all these, what do you call it? Is not signs, like that's not the right word. It's like I'm forgetting the name. But anyway, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? It's going to come up while I'm filming the rest of the video. But I saw all these signs and that just confirmed it even more. Like everywhere, I just like started seeing money and like 888 on the number plate and like everywhere. So that just kind of confirmed it even more. It's just like stacking and stacking and stacking. And the funny thing is, 6 months later, I actually started working with Iman Gaji. So this was, 3 years ago now. And at the peak of that whole experience, right, I was making $3,000 a month, and I'm leaving, quite a few stuff out. I don't want to make this video too long, but at the peak of it, I was making $3,000 a month. And the top 1% in South Africa, where I'm currently staying and I'm born and raised, right? I wanted to speak some Afrikaans, but anyway, I'm just going to leave that out. The top 1% make like $3,200 a month. So I was making $3,000 a month at 21 years old. So I was just like, bro, I'm rich. Like I made it. That's actually the richest I've ever felt, is making $3,000 a month. Believe it or not. Made 10 times that, no, like 100 times that. Like I've the first 3,000, the first paycheck, like nothing really trumps that. So if you sign your first client, like, recently, I know a couple of our, community members signed their first client recently. A lot of people are signing their first clients. It's like savor that, like really try and appreciate that. And it's difficult going through that, because then you're like, oh shit, now I actually have to fulfill on these services. It's like more money, more problems, more stress, right? But anyway, you go through the journey like this. I've obviously made $3,000 a month, and then I started investing in mentorship coaches, and 80% of those mentorship and coaches was kind of a waste of money. Like, it's nothing really is a waste of money, but like it was kind of a waste of money, okay? But I didn't really get anything from that. So people think that once they buy their first mentorship or once they buy their first whatever, just by them making the decision to buy, now they need to be successful. It doesn't work like that. You still need to put in the work. Like, the mentor and a coach just help you to avoid the mistakes, but you still need to put in the work. Like that's extremely important. Okay. like when I invested $10,000, like that was the biggest purchase I've ever made, right? $10,000 with like my mentorship, whatever. 3 months later, I made 10K a month off that investment. And the thing is, all these previous mentorship actually helped me. And Alex Emosi has this cool thing as well. Like he says that you're not gonna really bash your, grade 2 teacher because she taught you plus and minuses, like add and subtract, when you had calculus. Like you're not going to bash the grade 2 teacher. Like you were at that stage, like that is what you were needed at that time. And I just, you progress. Like the first mentorship I bought was really just like a mindset course. Like, Agency Navigator, you're probably familiar with that. It's not for sale anymore, but that was more like a mindset course. And even the students in the program, like 70% of them said the mindset part helped them the most, because they are at the beginning stages. Like they first need to like believe it's possible and believe they can do this, and like it's all these mindset things. Like that's why belief comes before ability. That kind of helped me to cultivate this belief that I can actually do it. And I don't know if it's nature or nurture. Like nature, that I was born with like this belief that I can make it happen, okay, or it's like this nurture thing where the environment and all the books I read and all these things. I think it's a combination of both, where I just believed like, there's no other way. That's the kind of mindset you want to have. Like there's literally no other way. It's get rich or die trying. Like that, it is what it is. Okay. So with that said, like, I was never going to stop. All right. So back to the actual business I started, the agency, right? And with that agency, obviously I made 10K a month within 3 months of starting that. I signed like, a couple low value clients, whatever, like just to start off. I was charging, this might seem crazy, but like I was charging 2,500. We charge like 10K now just for some comparison per month. So, charging 2.5K when I was starting out, like that was obviously pretty good money. And then it was 2,500, and then I charged 4,500, and then 5,000 for a client, and then like 6,800, and then 7,500, and then 8,600, and then 9,000, and then 10,000. So I was constantly like, you can see all these iterations, like, I was progressing how much I was charging. And with we've worked with some pretty big people in the space, like very, very famous influencers. Like one of them is Mike Tyson, for example. So, our company is pretty valuable if we were to sell it. And that's the ultimate goal, to sell the agency, right? I don't know if I mentioned we have an agency, but if you watch these videos, you probably already know. But if you're new to it, we have like our own social media marketing agency where we help pretty big influencers, decently successful influencers already, like, let's say 100, 200K subs, scale to like, 500 to 1 million subs essentially. That's when they see most of them plateau, like, they get to 100K, 200K around there, and then they plateau for like years. And the thing is, the algorithm has changed now, where your main account should only be getting 30% of your total monthly views. That's why you see these people making clips accounts and, like best of Imangaji and Imangaji Reels and all these accounts. We call them satellite accounts. That's like our unique naming on our unique system, the satellite account system, right? We create like, 27 videos a day on the smaller package. Actually, we've got another one where we charge 20K a month, and that's like 60 videos every single day on like dozens of Instagram, TikTok, YouTube accounts essentially. And it's not even me saying this. Ty Lopez, who's a pretty big internet marketer, he's constantly like tweeting, or I see on his YouTube posts actually, that your main account, shouldn't really be getting the majority of your views. It's like these fan accounts, right? But it needs to be internal. Otherwise, the thing about Andrew Tate happens where, people just take like outlandish clips just to go viral. But anyway, that is what is currently working. And the funny thing is, we started that 2 years ago. So the thing about business is like, you want to predict what people are going to want. And, there's like all these people that say this. I just study like the most successful people, like Steve Jobs, Henry Ford. Steve Jobs said, you want to anticipate what people want before they know what they want. I'm paraphrasing. And also Henry Ford said, if I asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. So people at the time don't really know what they want. So you kind of want to anticipate what people would want, go all in on your idea, and then kind of hope, essentially, because it is hope. Like, you can't really predict the future. No one could predict the future. If you could predict what the newspaper headline's going to say tomorrow, you're going to be a trillionaire, because you just 1000x the leverage and do a short or go long on whatever stock or whatever the case may be. So if you know what the headline is tomorrow, you're going to be a trillionaire tomorrow or a billionaire, whatever, right? So, if anyone could predict the future, like obviously everyone will be rich, but that's why not everyone is. Like you kind of want to anticipate what people would want. So 2 years ago, I anticipated, okay. And the cool thing is, Steve Jobs, he has the saying where he says, you can only connect the dots, looking back. You can't connect the dots looking forward, right? So if you're currently going through some shit, like you can't really connect the dots. You don't know what's going on. Like that's totally normal. But when you look back, it's like, wow, I've experienced so much. I've done so much. I've progressed so much. You can only connect the dots looking back. And I now connect the dots looking back because when I was part of Iman Gadget's content team, right? I managed a couple accounts. I edited a couple, shorts, TikToks, whatever the case may be. I think I generated like 10 million plus views for Iman at the time. That was like 3 years ago. I don't know, my nose is itching. I don't know what's going on. Damn, I lost my point. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so I worked with Iman Gadget and I saw like how he blew up. I was like, what the fuck? He was generating like 250 million views a month, and I just saw all these sales coming in like $1 million weekend. I'm like, what is this? He was like plateauing at like 200k a month or something. I'm not exactly sure. Obviously, don't want to expose whatever all the numbers, but he was just bringing in millions and millions of views, and just like he was the fastest growing self-improvement entrepreneur in the world in history, like a world record. Grew like 300,000 subs in a month, all through that system. And obviously his content improved, his long form improved. I know all of that, but like the content system had a pretty big impact on his growth. And I was like, yo, I want to do this for other personal brands. And I would not have came up with that idea if I did not work with Iman. Like I would not have thought of that idea. But you can only connect the dots looking back. Okay, so you kind of forge your own path as you take the step forward. So don't people are waiting for certainty and guarantees and all these things like, oh, if I take this step, this will happen. Like that, if that is what you're looking for, if you're looking for guarantees, entrepreneurship is not for you. I'm sorry to break it to you. It's just not how it works. Like you're going to constantly take bets on the future. Okay. That's constantly what you're going to do. So it's kind of like a gamble, but it's like, it's calculated risks and calculated gambling. Okay. That is what it is. All right. It's like a 10% success rate, but also, Jeff Bezos has this thing where, he says that if you lose, you can take calculated risks. Like, let's say it's $1 million ad spend budget. Like, these big companies, $1 million, they lose that, it's fine. It seems crazy, but Amazon is making trillions, so it doesn't really matter, like $1 gazillion. So, what did I want to say? So it's calculated risks, but the actual outcome or the reward is like 1000x, right? So you can take you can take a lot of medium-sized bets. You will lose quite a lot, it will, hurt you, but the actual upside is like $1 million. You can exit your company for billions of dollars, right? Like the upside is humongous. So you want to take you want to take a lot of bets, like a lot of medium-sized bets, okay? Because you don't want to just do small bets, because let's say you take $1 bet and you do 1000x, it's like just $1,000, okay? So, but if you put 1,000 in and it's 1000x, you get $1 million, right? So the more you put in, obviously the more you get out, but also you want to manage what you will lose. And that's also why I suggest the agency, because it's zero capital needed, right? Like there's zero actual money that's required for you to sign a client. Like you can use your current Gmail, or you can just, you can use your Gmail even. It's not, optimal. Send personalized emails to people in your niche, get them on a call. Calendly is free as well. Zoom is free as well. You got the 45-minute limit, but still, one of our members actually signed his first $2,000 client with the free account, all free. He made $2,000 with that client, and he's also from South Africa. Pretty cool. And he also joined our exclusive community, and now we're helping him scale to 5, 10K a month, whatever, where, he wants to get to. So all for free, we helped him. So if you want, the free stuff, that's all down below, helping you sign some high ticket clients, all for free. Okay. So that's basically that. And the agency is just the best way to do that, in my opinion. Like, with e-com, for example, you need, you don't need this, but you want to kind of spend money on capital to actually test products. You can do it organically, post your products, on TikTok or something, but you know how hard it is to go viral with like these products. Like you're going to be wasting all your time creating viral TikToks that's just going to get like 10 views, and you're not really testing products. So it's very, very difficult. And also, to get to 10K a month, like, it is fucking difficult, bro. Like, that is the hardest you're ever going to work. Don't expect it to be easy. I want to set your expectations straight. Like, it's not going to be easy. Like, if you know, anything worthwhile isn't easy. And if it wasn't worthwhile, it wouldn't be easy. I think I either cooked on that one or I just, that was terrible. If it's worthwhile, it's not going to be easy. And if it's not worthwhile, it is easy. Okay, I think that's the correct version of it. But you know what I mean? Like, if it's something worth achieving, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. That is the price of the game. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. How long is this? 15 minutes. That's decent. Usually my videos are a bit longer, but you know, people's attention spans are pretty cooked. So hope you enjoyed this one. And then I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.